Today, what I want to talk to you about is assembling a project team. I'm going to use the example of a complex engineering project because that's the type of project that I've led the most in my career. So, you want to execute on projects that need a wide range of expertise across levels of knowledge, like this. Say the vertical columns here represent the different disciplines, such as biology, chemistry, electronics, mechanical engineering, etc. And the levels are from highly specialized experts, management, senior and junior scientists and engineers, and research associates and technicians. Now, in a world of infinite resources, you'd be able to hire people across all of these expertise, and with enough overlap that they can communicate well with each other and work seamlessly to get the job done. But this isn't really how people are. Most people have capabilities that do or can span into adjacent fields, and most people can do at least parts of the job with greater or lesser expertise. For example, elite scientists can help out in lab tasks, and often a manager can manage across multiple disciplines. So maybe the real situation to strive for would look something more like this. And you'd have the whole field covered and with fewer people. But we don't live in a world of infinite resources. And frankly, if you really hired all these people, some of them wouldn't necessarily have stuff to do full time. So, what can you reasonably expect to get? Well, it's probably more something like this. Now, with this number of people spaced like this, it's pretty sparse. So, how do we choose where these bubbles should be and still have the best coverage for our team? Not just for the current project, but also looking ahead to future projects. Okay, first of all, and take this as a base rule, always have some overlap in knowledge, at least in experience working with people from other disciplines. This is key to a team working well together and also provides a strong foundation to build on. Now, identify the true core strength that you need in your team. You may want to have expertise across all of those disciplines, but right now, do you really have a full-time job for all of them? Or is your core specialty coming from, say, two fields? For example, mechanical and electrical engineering. All right, now, back to the premise of overlapping. If you need both electronics and mechanical engineering represented in your team, it's perfectly okay if, for example, the mechanical engineer doesn't know electronics at all, but at least then, hopefully, one of the electronics employees has worked with mechanical components in the past. Or maybe you have a manager who's worked with both types of expertise before to bridge that gap. You need the internal bridges, and it's okay if those bridges are coming from management. At least you have them, and the team will learn to stand that up for themselves. Next, consider where the work will get done. I find that the fastest way to get some of that core early feasibility work is to do it in-house if possible. So make sure you shore up your team with capable techs who can work with the more expert team members and do the day-over-day research, testing, development. With those foundations in place, now you can pull in some specialized expertise in specific fields from consultants and collaborators. This is the high-level expertise that maybe you don't need 40 hours a week. But make sure that here too you have the right overlaps. Someone on your team must be able to converse with the consultant in a common language to make sure that everyone stays in the same page and the project is on track. And so then there you have it. This is the type of picture that I think works best, and so I recommend that you should be striving for. The core of your team must be strong in this middle layer, where you get nascent ideas, but also the ability and interest to roll up their sleeves and get things done. Have the right management that can offer advice across all the fields that you work in. Make sure that you have enough junior people to support your staff and get the work done. And bring in consultants for the specialized advice as necessary. A team like this will be able to execute on projects within their core expertise, but they'll also be able to expand to adjacent fields as necessary. Now, this expansion is going to come about by bringing in more people, but also growing your people both laterally and vertically, with most people going in either one of the two directions. This way, you fulfill your core project needs now and be in a great position to fill in that whole original rectangle.